And welcome back, wrestling fans. This is part two of our Ontario Indy road trip for this week. Part one had the message from Matt Terry involving wrestling with ALS happening next weekend. But this weekend, we have another guest on the show, and we're talking about Chem Valley Wrestling's second anniversary. Part three, which will drop later on tomorrow, we're going to look at events coming up from Pro Wrestling Eclipse, Seaway Valley Wrestling, Moonshine Brand Wrestling, New School Wrestling in honor of Scotty O'Shea, Hamilton Wrestling Entertainment, Championship Wrestling from Ontario, Demand Lucha, and Destiny Wrestling, all happening to finish off the month of October. Well, like I said, we have another guest, and that is Arron in Sarnia to talk about Chem Valley second anniversary. How are you, Arron?
Not too bad, Shawn. How's it going? Thank you so much for having me, and I'm really happy that we're finally getting to do this.
Yeah, I'd love to try and get you guys on the show, regardless of who's promoting, to get the word out about your shows. And tomorrow you have your second anniversary.
Yeah,
How's that feeling?
Can't believe it, man. Obviously, we weren't too active for one of the years because of COVID and everything, but I'm really excited to be able to have a show indoors again. It's our first show indoors since before COVID, we actually did get one show in 2020, which was in January at River City Vineyard, which is where our show is tomorrow now. After a change up this week, it's been a crazy week, man. I'm really looking forward to it.
I can imagine. I've been following along, trying to prepare for this whole show with the entire calendar and what all matches are coming. And just to go back, what made you start Chem Valley Wrestling?
Well, I started off, I want to say 5+ years ago. I was working at a bar here in town. I was like an assistant manager, basically running the bar for this other guy. But we were doing shows with just all sorts of different shows, music, comedy. I was really into the comedy and whatnot. And I went to London Music Hall, or not London Music Hall. I went to London Comic Con back in 2017 with my fiance, and just looking around, we were having a really good time. It was my first ever time going to a Comic Con. Shout out to those guys; they put on an amazing event. And we ended up finding wrestling, and first person I seen was this huge dude, Braxton Sutter, and I was right away. I was like, Katie, we're watching this. We're gonna stay and watch this. This is something I'm definitely interested in, and so I went up and talked to Braxton after the show, and just kind of told him who I was and told him that I'd really love to bring wrestling to Sarnia. Who do I need to talk to about doing this? And that show was being ran by Smash. So he put me in touch with Sebastian, and we started bringing shows to Sarnia at the Station Music Hall was where we started. And then we just kind of built from there. The station closed in 2018. My timeline might be off here a little bit, but the station closed, which made us have to look for a new venue, which led me to my search for River City Vineyard. And we started running shows out of there. And then I started working with Destiny. I brought a really big card to Sarnia with Pete Dunne, Trent Seven, Tyler Bate.
I was there for that card.
Yeah, and we brought a lot of really great WWE talent, so it was great to do that. And it was great to be able to work with both promotions, being two of the top indie promotions in Canada and possibly even the world. It was an honor to work with those guys and kind of learn everything, and I felt I really did learn a lot through all of that and getting to work with both sides. And that's kind of how everything started with wrestling. And then 2 years actually.
Sorry. I can concur with the whole Smash Wrestling at Comic-Con as well. That was probably my first time back at an indie show in years, was seeing that and meeting people like Tarek, and of course seeing Daniel Garcia for the first time ever, along with Kevin Blackwood. So that was a very monumental Comic-Con.
Yeah, oh yeah, I think so. Absolutely. I had a lot of fun, and it was a really great event too. I mean, Smash always put on great shows. yeah, I just after that, I knew that I had to bring wrestling to Sarnia, especially being a promoter already, putting on shows. Like we were bringing big shows at the station. Like we brought in some really big acts, like Machine Gun Kelly, Sam Roberts band played there. Um, and I mean, they all weren't like my favorite artists, but there were some big names coming through, and I got to experience a lot. So I knew that when I seen the wrestling at Comic Con, it was a great fit for Sarnia, and we had to use a low rise ring for the first few shows, but it actually ended up working out really well in the station. Like the atmosphere was just incredible. Those station shows, everyone who's a part of it can attest that those were some of the funnest shows we had here in Sarnia, if not the funnest. And that's kind of what brought Brian White into the whole thing. It was our first event, actually. MVP was on the card, and he was wrestling Sebastian. And I remember MVP kind of was taking Sebastian around the whole place, kind of throwing him off tables, going to the bar, and doing all sorts of cool spots. And they ended up at Brian White, and MVP had Brian White's son hold Sebastian back or no, sorry, other way around. MVP held Sebastian back for some chops onto Sebastian, which after that, no one actually knew that Brian was a counselor. So I thought it would be a great opportunity to kind of make a storyline and whatnot. So I gave the idea to Sebastian, and he kind of evolved it, and we really blew it up. Like we got CBC coverage. Like everyone in Sarnia knew about the show. We got onto Your TV Kojiko, which Jay Smith was a huge part of making that happen. Yeah, man, those first set of shows were great, and I mean that's really what led to me wanting to do my own here. I always wanted to do my own, but obviously in the beginning I didn't know anything about any of this, right? So I mean I had to build relationships and kind of make contacts and see how things were ran and learn a lot. I really did learn a lot, and I'm really thankful for the two opportunities I got to work with two different promotions. And when I stopped working with Smash, I kind of started releasing bits and pieces of Chem Valley Wrestling, but then I wanted to. Then we ended up working with Destiny, and about 4 shows in with Destiny, I got a belt created finally. I always had in my mind that I wanted to start something with this Chem Valley Wrestling, but no one really kind of knew. At the start, everyone kind of thought it was a podcast. Actually, Aiden Prince, he does design work. He's the one who designed all my logos and everything. And even when he made my logos and everything, he had no idea that a promotion is where I was actually going to go with everything with it. And I mean, I had a lot of names and different ideas that I thought of going with, but Chem Valley was kind of something that I felt fit really well with the
especially in the Sarnia area.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, the CVW is really catchy, and we're hoping to really kind of catch that on to things. And yeah, George gave me the blessing. I said, hey, he asked me when he seen the belt, he said, hey, do you want to maybe do a match for that belt at the show? And I said, man, I would be honored. Like, I didn't want to step on any toes or ask any questions. It was obviously a thought of mine, but that would be incredible. So it ended up being Aiden Prince, Quicksilver, now Ryan Wright, and El Reverso actually was in the first ever Chem Valley Wrestling Championship match. And that was at the show, I believe it was at the show with Tommy Dreamer back in April of 2019, I want to say.
So then that was basically the birth of Chem Valley officially, and Aiden Prince was your first champion.
Yeah, Aiden Prince won the belt that night. I believe he pinned Quicksilver, but I may be wrong there. I can't remember.
Yeah, so it's awesome that it's evolved as much as it has, and having Sebastian and Iceman as somewhat mentors, or at least showing a blueprint of what to do is nothing to be bad about, because those are two quality guys to look at how to do things. So that brings us to tomorrow night, which is your second anniversary show.
Yeah.
Now, you said there's a change in venue. If you want to plug that one quickly.
Yeah, so we were originally going to be running where we ran our last show at Valley Sarnia, which shout out to them. They were really accommodative to us with all of our last show. Like once all like it's been a really tough, couple of years for everyone, and I think we really took pride in being able to have an opportunity for everybody to attend the show with it being an outdoor show. Obviously, there's stuff like there's protocols and stuff that we have to follow now being indoors, but yeah, that's I do. I just wanted to give a shout out to Valley Axe there and not run
Yeah,
too far that, but um,
I
we
was
are
hoping to get to that Valley Axe show, but 2 days before that, I had my surgery on my Achilles heel, so I was laid up
well.
and missing that one.
I hope that's healing better, man.
Well, it's going good. I'm hoping to maybe find a ride down for tomorrow if I can to catch this show.
That'd be
So
awesome.
you were saying protocols will be in place, but does Chem Valley qualify with how the Sarnia Sting and London Knights and all them are allowed full capacity now, along with obviously the vaccination proof?
We are, but we are going to be a little bit proactive and kind of we want everybody to feel safe and absolutely comfortable. And with this being the first show back, we capped the online ticket or we capped the tickets at 150.
Good.
So we're gonna absolutely have everything spaced out. So if you bought a set of tickets, let's say a group of 10 bought tickets, you're gonna be put in your group, but you're gonna be at least 6 feet from any other group around you. We're gonna really try our best to make sure that that's in place just because we want everyone to feel comfortable and try to go above and beyond with everything.
Yeah, very nice. And 150 is not a bad thing because you can still make a lot of noise with that. And uh, over there at River City Vineyard, the size of that room that you're using is going to be well equipped for holding that and be safe at the same time.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, if you want to run down some of the card, I have some graphics to go along with that. Um, First one I have up is Space Monkey, who I'm wearing a shirt for, against Pretty Ricky.
Yeah, that's going to be a great match. Pretty Ricky wrestled Stone Rockwell in his last match here. He didn't come out victorious, but he's coming back and he's looking to really make a statement and kind of grow himself and hopefully lead to a Chem Valley Wrestling title shot one day down the road.
Yeah, Matthew Terry and I were talking about Pretty Ricky the other day in part one of our show. And Ricky is doing a lot to get all over the place. You see him up in Barrie. He's over with you in Sarnia, hitting Hamilton everywhere. And the guy is working hard to establish himself. And I think he's going to be a huge future for Ontario wrestling.
Yeah, he was actually on, I want to say the first ever. I want to say he was on the first ever Chem Valley Wrestling show, and I don't think he was scheduled to be. Maybe it was the second one, but I know he wasn't scheduled to be on it. But I think it was the second one because it was when we did the 6-man contract on a pole match, and he was a late entrant into it, and it was my first opportunity getting to work with him, and I just absolutely love him. I watch his podcast every week. Shout out to that because it's a lot of nonsense, but it kind of puts a smile on my face. I can just go and listen to that every week, and it's really enjoyable.
Yeah, the Black Ball podcast is a nice escape, and yeah, you never know what's going to come from them. I've had Ricky on the show before, and unfortunately, he got lost, I guess, going to Rex's house to beat him up on his front lawn. But still, as long as he's probably not driving, he's a good guy to have fun with.
Yeah.
Next up, I guess it's being looked at as a little bit of a grudge match and friends.
There's
No
a
longer
couple
friends.
grudge matches on this card.
So you got Bhupinder Gujjar. I feel bad I'm butchering his name. Going against Reverso.
Yeah, it's going to be an incredible match. This is something that's stemming over from really the last show. Reverso had Highlander Robbie beat in a ring. It was going to be a big win for him. It was actually a number one contenders match as well. But Bhupinder came out and kind of stopped the match and attacked both of them. And it ended in a no contest, which now Bhupinder and Reverso are going to go head to head tomorrow night and determine who is the better man and who deserves the number one contender shot at Cody Deaner's title. Or
Yeah,
who knows, it could be Mark Wheeler's title by that time, right?
exactly. So hopefully in the next show, that person will be able to cash in their contendership and go for the title.
And I think the thing that's frustrating for Reverso is that he won the number one contender's title, contendership in this contract on a pole match. But because of COVID, there was an expiry date of 1 year on the contract. So we gave him a chance to give him another number one contender match to just kind of renew it. And then this happened. So it's kind of built up, and it's going to be kind of cool to see how the storyline ends. And yeah, I mean, Bhupinder kind of got a lot of heat at the last show coming in and stopping the match. After he won his match as well, he won his triple threat defeat. He pinned Alec Realm, but he also beat Aiden Prince in the process by pinning Alec Realm. So I mean, he's got a win on his belt over the former Chem Valley Wrestling champion right now. So I mean, there's a lot of there's a lot of possibilities going into tomorrow night. What's going to happen? You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's building himself a good reputation with Chem Valley, being able to do all that. You also have a triple threat tag team match with the titles on the line, champions being Fight or Flight, defending against Fear the Beard and Books and Looks.
Yeah, Fear the Beards are coming down and debuting. They're coming down from Kingston, I believe. Great tag team. I kind of caught an eye on them when they did a promo for Chem Valley Wrestling, actually. And I was like, these guys look great. I'd love to work with them. So I'm really happy to be able to bring someone in from out that way and start kind of, I just love working and using all kinds of different talent and kind of just building connections down here in Sarnia and making this like a destination for people to want to come wrestle, right? So they're going to be making their debut. Books and Looks coming off their win against Dale Kilburn and Brickhouse Mick McGuire at the last show. So there's a lot of possibilities in that match. And this is actually the way that Fight or Flight won the championship in a triple threat tag team match. I told myself I was never going to book one of these matches again. But I know, and now here we are again. It's going to happen tomorrow night, and Fight or Flight doesn't even need to be pinned for them to lose the titles, which is crazy. So I mean, they really have to be kind of on the ball and ready for the match, I think, because there's two great tag teams coming in who are hungry and want to carry Chem Valley as the new tag team champion. So it's going to be an entertaining match, and I'm really looking forward to that one.
And Fight or Flight are your original tag team champions, correct?
Yep. They
won. So they held up all the challengers.
And it was in the same kind of match against Halal Beefcake and Desi Hit Squad.
Ooh, that's quite the combination to come out on top from that one. So yeah, we'll see what happens. And I like the idea, like you said, when you saw Fear the Beard in Seaway Valley. It's nice that talent can go all over the place, and even different organizations sort of working together in a more collaboration over competition type deal, because everybody's stronger, I feel, when everyone is able to work together, especially after the pandemic and being held off for as long as we have.
Absolutely.
So just announced, I was going to ask you where Aiden Prince was since he's on the poster, but you just announced a little bit before we came on here. Aiden Prince is going to go against Andrew Love.
Yeah, it's going to be an incredible match. Young Love, Andrew Love coming down, making his debut in Sarnia. I've heard a lot of great things about this kid. I've never seen him wrestle before, so I'm looking forward to seeing him take on the former Chem Valley Wrestling champion and Aiden Prince, who he's kind of built a reputation for himself after the last show as the Stone Cold of Chem Valley Wrestling. I don't know if you heard any stories, but he got into the brewskis.
Oh, would not surprise me with Aiden.
During his match, of course.
So that'll be a good fight there with the experience of Aiden Prince, longtime stallhold of the Ontario scene, along with a up-and-coming Love. So look forward to that match. Now, you got a new title.
We got a new
And
title.
you're
Actually, I got the title right here. Do you want to see it?
Sure. We'll
Honestly,
take down the graphic.
I'll
take down the graphic in just a moment.
Yeah, no worries. So this has been a lot of stress for me this week, actually, this title. I've got my title made by the same person every time. It's AK Belts. They're located in Pakistan. And I ordered it about, I want to say 8 weeks ago. Well, right after the last show, actually. And he promised it's going to be here. I actually told him the show date was on October 8th, just to be ahead of time. And it wasn't here on October 8th. So that's when I started panicking. And I didn't know it was like, I got the notification that it was on the way last week, but I was really, really scared. I'm not going to lie. I didn't know if it was going to show up. It was saying October 19th, but it showed up yesterday. I got a message from my beautiful fiance telling me there's a package here. And I was at work with the biggest smile on my face. And
so let's see the gold. That's awesome. Yep. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, you posted a photo of that just the other day as well. And just to bring that graphic back up, the two ladies who fought at your last show are going to go at it again as Cici Galavis takes on Miley in a championship match.
Yeah, first ever Chem Valley Wrestling women's championship match. So there's a lot on the line, and like I said, there's a lot carrying over from the last show on this one again. And these two ladies are ready to fight. And they've been actually, after that show, I noticed that they were wrestling all over against each other. So I think that they're gonna really bring a good fight and an incredible match, and it's gonna be something to look forward to tomorrow night.
Yeah, I think they were against each other at Resolution.
Yep.
Over in GTA area, or St. Catharines area, should I say. They went at it then. And you were saying that this is also carrying over from the last time where there was some controversy in that match.
Yeah, so it ended in, I want to say a double DQ, or I don't even know, because Miley tapped and Cici got pinned. So, and I might have that, there might be the wrong way that I have it there, but it ended in controversy where both refs had to come out and nobody can make the call. So that's when I had the idea, you know what, this match was incredible. These two ladies absolutely brought it tonight. We need to do this again, but we need to do it for a title. And the first ever Chem Valley Wrestling women's title. And it's going to be decided tomorrow night at River City Vineyard.
Put some more stakes on the line and see who comes out on top, who wants it more. So this brings you to a somewhat, I guess, quasi double main event where a gentleman you know really well, Brian White, is taking on Tyson Dukes. And you already got the shaking of the head. And I think last time you guys encountered each other was at your last show. And you unfortunately ended up on the other end of a kendo stick, courtesy of Counselor White. Anything you want to say about that, along with the matchup of Tyson Dukes against Brian White?
All I got to say about that is Brian's going to get what he has coming tomorrow night when Tyson Dukes gives him the absolute beating of his life, and he'll never be in Chem Valley Wrestling again. Brian's been toting his undefeated record, and he is Chem Valley Wrestling. But we're gonna find out tomorrow night when Tyson Dukes finishes him once and for all that Brian White isn't all he's chalked up to be.
He is the wrestling machine. Tyson Dukes is, and a lot of years of experience coming into that matchup. So going to feel sorry for Brian going into that one, to be honest, and hopefully he's not too worse for wear. I did see Tyson take out Corey Stone at a Smash show in Tilsonberg, and his chest was totally like ground beef, as we've seen Dana Bryan's chest that way before. So it's going to be an interesting battle there. And
Ryan's gonna wish he didn't get new gear last show, and he still had that stupid singlet with the Sarnia logo on it, so he could protect his chest a little bit.
Yeah, especially with how much Tyson likes to do chops. And that takes us to our main event, where the reigning and defending Chem Valley Wrestling champion Cody Diener is going to go against Mark Wheeler.
Yeah, Mark Wheeler's making his Sarnia. I don't know if it's a Sarnia debut. He thinks he might have been here once with Smash when we were at the River City Vineyard, but he's making his debut for Chem Valley Wrestling, so we're really excited about that. We've heard a lot of great things about Mark Wheeler, obviously being the Barrie champion and doing lots of great things throughout Ontario, Alpha One Wrestling. We're really excited to get the opportunity to work with him tomorrow and kind of see this match. Cody's never worked Mark either, so this is going to be a really good match, I think. You guys are going to bring it, and Cody, he's done an incredible job being the Chem Valley Wrestling champion, and the fans just absolutely love him here. And yeah, it's gonna be a great match tomorrow night. The main event.
Yeah, he was able to survive and retain the title after his best friend, or one of his closest friends, Tyson Dukes, turned on him at the show back in what was that, 2020?
Yep.
Your show there.
2020, yep.
And then defended the title on your last show at Valley Axe. So yeah, he's a fighting champion and the Golden Gun. He's definitely a very talented individual. He might be able to take it off Diener, or Diener could retain. So yeah. Thanks for joining us for this run through. You want to give another shout out to any of your sponsors, and also how people can get tickets and where the show is being relocated, that'd be awesome.
Absolutely. So the show is being relocated to River City Vineyard. It's at 260 Minton Street North, right here in Sarnia. We also have an after party as well, which is right down the road at Mod's Variety, which is like they got lots of cool stuff there. They have a WrestleFest arcade game, which we're going to have a little tournament after. There's chips and food and lots of great craft beer. They have like probably the widest selection of like craft beer you'll ever see. And they're really building our Mitten Village back up, which is where our venue is kind of located tomorrow night. And we're really happy to be partnering up with them along with Dog Eat Dog to help us kind of get the word out and get some people out from Mitten Village. We also have some great sponsors who have helped us out through this show and along with other shows. I'll give them a quick shout out now. Jen Johnston, Remax Realty. We have Bayview Chrysler Dodge right here in Sarnia. Spark Massage Therapy. Revelry, which is our ticketing, which is where you can get tickets. I'll give that a shout out now as well. There's only about 20 left online right now. That's also there may be some that open up with some people who don't feel comfortable with going to the show. So keep an eye out for that. But right now, we do have about 20 left as of this recording. There may even be less than 20 now. Yeah, they're one of our sponsors who have helped us out with. It's really great to be able to have a ticketing agency. I've worked with lots throughout my time promoting in Sarnia, and it's really good to be able to work with a local one. They're from right here in Sarnia, and they've helped me out huge with my shows. So I want to give them a shout out. We have other sponsors as well, which I need to bring up. Just 1 sec.
Yeah, no problem. So yeah, it seems like Project it's a really great.
Which is there.
Yep.
Sorry about that. I didn't know if it would take.
Yeah, no worries.
I just had to look at the sponsors quick. I'll give them a quick shout out. Project Mayhem, and any other one that I'm missing, I'll give them a shout out after. Don't have them in front of me right now, but they're all on the match sponsors, match graphics, which you posted, and we're really thankful for all of our sponsors helping us out and kind of helping us build this here in Sarnia, because we've really been working hard. And that's another thing I want to give a shout out to the fans right now. The venue change wasn't an easy decision. Obviously, we wanted to give that option for those people who aren't vaccinated to be able to enjoy a show outdoor, see wrestling shows live in a safe environment where everyone's distanced. But unfortunately, we had to move indoors, and everyone's been super understanding with honoring their tickets at the next outdoor show that we are going to do next summer. No matter what, we're going to have about 1 to 3 outdoor shows next summer. I'm thinking 3 because I want to go big. I love doing events at Valley Axe, and I think we're just getting started with our shows here. We're going to try and expand as well and start hitting areas outside of Sarnia, in our area, of course, but we really want to start growing Chem Valley Wrestling and make it the go-to entertainment here in Sarnia. And yeah, thanks so much, Shawn. I'm rocking your shirt right now.
Actually. Yeah, I was going to point out. So that shirt that he is wearing, you can go over to our Pro Wrestling Tees store at prowrestlingtees.com/Scumbags Wrestling. For those t-shirts that Aaron is wearing, the money for that is going to Curie Malformation with Stevens Wrestling Journey and research at Sick Kids Hospital in Toronto. So you get a great shirt with 22 stars of the Ontario scene, a lot of them who are going to be actually appearing at the show tomorrow night. So you can get that shirt and support a great cause at the same time. And don't forget to go over to the website, reveille.com, to get your tickets. There's only a few left, but you're going to see Cody Diener defending the championship against the Golden Gun. You got a grudge match with the Tyson Dukes against Brian White, and you're going to see the very first Chem Wrestling Women's Champion crowned at this show. So you're going to see history in the making. Don't miss out. River City Vineyards, 260 Minton Street North in Sarnia. Doors open at 6 p.m. Bell time at 7. And you don't want to miss this. Support indie wrestling. And we'll be back in just a little bit with part 3, looking at the rest of the calendar for the rest of October. But I'm going to check out of here for a moment, talk to Aaron offline, and get the rest of that calendar to you. So I'll see you in just a little bit.